Welcome back, everyone, to the next installment of The Letter. Things are getting tense in our relationship, and we are reasonably sure we heard someone crying in the wine cellar, but the greatest character in the game, Johannes, saved her, or saved us, from what probably would have been a terrible fate. But don't worry, the game really likes telling us that things are coming. Oh, if only we knew what was coming. I guess we'll get there. The scene outside the parlor is a great organized mess. Aside from our own household help, we hired the service of the temp agency, which provides staff for Right Enterprise in the hospitality sector. Even our very skilled staff cannot undertake a party of this size on their own. Its own? Waiters, busboys, hostesses, and their staff captains move about in droves, carrying crockery and serveware, good for several dozen people and then some. Chefs and bartenders tail after Johannes, looking like scared little children, as he escorts them through the kitchen and into the wine cellar, where they are systematically killed by the ghost, one by one, to peruse the stocks, to select what can be served at the party, and what can be used for cooking.
Schnell! We have a lot to do, and I believe we did not hire snails. Snails are for the dishes.
Ha! Nice. A string quartet readies up to play for the evening, tuning their instruments as they fill the air with idle chatter. The quartet does, I guess? Floral decor worth thousands fill vases, wreaths, and baskets, while petals are scattered along the driveway up front. Oh, nice, look at that. An ice sculpture of a reindeer is brought in carefully by a pair. It is followed by a simple cake. A simple cake. Just a 5-tier white chiffon, one with white chocolate mousse. Oh, a 5-tier white chiffon 1. With white chocolate mousse, fresh berries, and a light dusting of edible gold leaf. I mean, wait till you see the complicated cake. But despite the fact that I told Marianne how I will attend to all of this, I find myself unable to focus to focus, or care for any of it. I still have our discussion running in my mind, and looking at all of this, I only see Luke everywhere. These are all the grand things that Luke wanted to have for the party. I had wanted a small, elegant, and simple gathering. Simple like that cake, with only a select few invited, namely the people who I would actually trust to enter my home. I did not want any bloody politicians or paparazzi in here, no matter how used I am to catering them. That does make sense. Some of these sentences throw me off, though.
At least be here for your party. Damn it, Luke.
The entire thing screamed Luke Wright. And I can't help but add another question to my growing list of queries. When did I lose myself? It's always about him nowadays, isn't it? What about Hannah Wright? What about Hannah Evans? I used to be my own woman who made her own name, her own career, and her own decisions. Sure, I was already the social butterfly that I still am today, but it wasn't all empty, shallow gossip and sitting pretty. I was also lauded for my knowledge and talent. Finance manager wasn't just handed to me just because my father owned the company. I had insisted that I start at the bottom so I could work my way to the top and prove myself. And I did. I worked numbers, managed budgets, money, and accounts, analyzing the competition and market trends. There was the calculation of financial risk, cost reduction opportunities, auditor liaison and public relations, supervision of staff, and, well, I generally had a huge slew of responsibilities. Admittedly, I was already quite the attention seeker even back then, having dedicated most of my youth craving for my parents' approval. Failing that, I turned to others, looked for praise from anyone who would give it, however fleeting it all was. And Luke? Oh, Luke, the way he looked at me, the way he watched me and took a genuine interest. He had me disgustingly obsessed since day one, hasn't he? He saw me for me, Hannah Evans, with both my faults and my achievements. The man didn't treat me like some damsel in distress or some prize to be won. I remember the nights before we were married where we talked about everything and anything. From big things like business, society, and philosophy, to little things such as what we had for breakfast or whether we liked cats or dogs more. Hannah likes dogs more. We both prefer dogs, there you go. Nowadays, I'm just Luke Wright's wife. It's mostly my fault, isn't it? They told me that husbands preferred wives who are docile and subordinate. A woman who'll always be there for him, yet would never outshine him in all aspects except beauty. A wife needs to be at home and attend to his needs, to have children, and to take care of them in his absence. They said I have no business working anymore after I was married. I can blame society, but I listened. Before I can fall further into this introspective pit of self-loathing, someone calls for my attention.
The guests have arrived, madam.
And Luke?
Running a bit late, I'm afraid.
Late for his own party. That man, I swear. He's probably looking to make a dramatic entrance, knowing him. Open the doors, then. We mustn't tarry.
Really? When is the last time I've seen anybody say tarry? Like Seinfeld as a joke about the word's existence? Cars line up the driveway, peppering the front of the mansion with vehicles of every kind. Grand Tourers, supercars, even the odd high-end muscle car or two, convertibles, grand saloons, and other luxury cars can be seen, being parked by valets. A handful of cabs drive off, possibly for those who thought it too troublesome to bring their own cars. There are at least 2 different media vans as well. They're all here for what may be considered the biggest event of the year for Luxburn. So far. Wait till you hear about the ghost! Who knows what we'll plan for the winter holidays? Oh, okay.
Welcome everyone. Please, make yourselves at home.
Some of the guests idle, enjoying the warm if not strange sunshine we are experiencing before gloomy skies inevitably return. They greet acquaintances and friends with warm smiles, others less so. From where I stand, I can see the hierarchy of power, the ties that bind these individuals here, whether through convenience or necessity. However, there are also few who are not here to further cement their current place in high society. Such as that young man with his oriental air. His oriental air. Whew, ignorant of the looks he receives from women and men alike. Wait. So this is after the open house. He actually has come back. Why? I know he's kept a low profile and he's got some secret thing going on, but why would he be here?
Be careful with Shirley, alright?
Man from the Orient. We're really doubling down, aren't we? Or that rose-haired woman talking on her phone while she looks unsure of why she is here exactly. What a coincidence! I'm also unsure of why she's here.
Yes, I'm at the party already, Mom. Yes, I'll say hi to her if I can.
I see Zachary, the photographer, as well. Got his name right. He talks to a few of the other media crew with an air of familiarity.
I was just here a few days ago, yeah. And the inside is huge, but the staff are pretty helpful if you get lost.
And then there are people like the Chief Inspector. People who I can never be too sure about. People who stand on the border between being suspicious and being trustworthy.
Thank you for the invite, Anna. Husband still missing, I see?
I should be saying the same of your darling Rochelle, Lee. The doctors again.
She told me she'll just be in the gardens. Bet she's lying and that she's somewhere around mingling, gossiping with the other ladies. It's no offense, but that seems to be all you ladies do at these parties.
And aren't you gossiping right now?
Ha!
Yes, well, what about Luke?
That deflection.
Should we file a missing persons report now, or do you want to wait 24 hours?
I mean, fair question. Although, this is preying on a stereotype, be aware, you can file a missing person's report now. Waiting 24 hours is just giving the criminal a 24-hour head start.
He's around.
You know, I can tell if someone's bluffing.
Yeah, he would probably be able to tell that.
Don't tell me, let me guess. He's finally drunken himself to death and not wanting a scandal. You've hidden his body.
Obviously a joke, but a little too close to home there, buddy.
I was wanting to give this housewarming gift to him personally, too. It's a plate that holds a wine glass so he can stop killing himself with liquid lunches. Looks like it's too late for that.
Nothing like that. Besides, this is a hardly polite conversation.
Yeah, for real. I know that it said that Hannah gets along better with Rochelle and Lee with Luke, but like, damn, he's blasting Luke right now.
Oh, relax. I'm just trying to be cheeky to lighten the mood. It's not like I want Luke dead.
If I wanted him dead, trust me, he'd be dead already.
The man doesn't serve dodgy plonk like the others when I visit, and he pays his respects well enough. I could use a glass of wine or 3, actually. Rochelle's been in a horrid mood. Threw her stilettos at me the other day and almost took an eye out.
Yeah, before I finish that sentence, I was gonna say, throwing a stiletto is a very dangerous thing.
Not sure if this is how it usually goes, but I blame the pregnancy.
I wouldn't know, would I?
Still no plans for a baby? I guess that's for the best. If it's this bad now, I can't even imagine how bad it'll be when that little baby bump becomes huge.
He is 100% right, but again, dude, come on. Have I mentioned how I don't trust him no matter how hard I try to do so? Good reason for that, but, like, he's being very real right now, even if it's, like, extremely inappropriate. At least he brought a gift, I suppose.
Why don't you just go inside and have some wine, Lee?
Think I will, thanks.
Greetings such as these carry on as the guests continue to trickle in, each of them delving deep into my personal affairs, I guess. Whether we have short conversations or merely shake hands and nod heads, I make sure to attend and welcome, well, attend to, and welcome each of them. As the first hour passes us by, the rest of the stragglers and I adjourn to the ballroom. Any latecomers will have the attention of the porter instead. I have other duties to attend to now. Hosting parties is always the same old song and dance, no matter how big or small it is. Like this dance, for example. You make sure your guests are well fed, have good company, and have them generally enjoy themselves. It is kind of cool to see the same ballroom full of people actually ballroom dancing, though. So when my opening remarks are done, when the band has started to play and the guests have started eating, I find myself wandering around aimlessly unless I am pulled aside by a ghost. For a while, I stay with a small group and entertain them before excusing myself. And when they're not anymore watching me, I end up watching them. When they don't listen, I do. A local banker is having trouble with his daughter. He wishes to marry her off, but she wants nothing more but to make music. One of our hotel managers worries about the stolen belongings of one of his patrons, a failing in security which should be brought up to higher authority soon. Our mayor, well, his cat died. That's that. Then there is that rose-haired woman once again. It is hard not to notice her with her distinctive locks. She also lacks the grace that the other ladies have, though that does not make her any less beautiful. Her stance and the air she exudes, instead, are strong, and they make her stand out despite her casual attire. Many men have already given her their attention, though each invitation to dance has been turned down. I approach, intrigued, although it is no great mystery what occupies her own attention, with the glances she keeps sending toward the boy with the oriental hair. She remains unaware, though, even as I stand beside her, pretending that I am there for a drink.
You would catch his eye a lot better if you wore nicer clothes, don't you think?
Wow, thanks.
Didn't realize the housewarming was going to be this fancy. I would have gone with a nice dress if I knew.
Oh, you're fine, dearie. It's only really the parvenus, those who climb, that come to these parties all dolled up. Quite the black-haired beauty, isn't he?
The boy comes over, but I do nothing to speak any softer. He merely passes by, and it is a wonder he doesn't hear what I say. He may have.
Who, Ash?
You know, you really shouldn't have turned down those offers. If I wasn't married, I'd happily go dancing with those young men. But you said a name. Ash. That's the exquisite lad you've been looking at all this time. I don't know him, and I'm the one hosting this party. That must mean you know each other. Is he your boyfriend, then? Because that would explain those rejections.
Becca's face. Oh man. In all my life, I have never seen a face grow red so fast. The shade of her hair did not help as well. This is the most pink I've seen in a person, really.
What? No, that's ridiculous. He isn't my boyfriend.
Such a violent reaction. A simple no would have sufficed. Many here would be happy to hear it.
And I haven't been looking at him.
That's right. You've been staring. Quite heatedly, in fact. Although I'm not sure if you look like you want to kiss him or kill him.
It's more the latter currently.
Just don't go murdering him on my property.
We'll have more than enough of that later in this game, I'm sure.
I don't want to walk into a room and suddenly find a body there.
That will happen. I mean, I don't know for a fact, but it will happen. I waver as I feel the burning of someone's stares. It is chilling, and though I am used to enduring the gaze of others, this one makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. That intense, like, she's got the crazy eyes. And the twitchy mouth, I guess. Oof, did you see the corner of her lip? My god. My attention is pulled from the girl, and I see a woman staring. And you can hear whispering. Dark-haired and dirty, she looks more like a beggar than a guest, and I have half the mind to call the security at her when her mouth breaks out into a grin. All I hear is her laughing. So Hannah's seen a ghost twice, felt it once. Zach has seen a ghost once. Isabel has seen a ghost 3 times. Yeah, this is no good. Taunting. Her stare makes my blood run cold. She looks at me like I am nothing but a pig to slaughter for her amusement. It makes my hand shake and I nearly drop my drink. But enough of that. But then in a blink she's gone and the buzz of the party returns.
I'll keep that in mind, but are you alright?
Yes, sorry. I just thought I saw something strange. It must be the trick of the light.
Now, will she connect it to the painting she saw earlier in the game? Because that was the same girl. Like, are we going to make that connection? Or is it just, oh, that was weird, and do our best to dismiss it?
Anyway, on a right, as you must already know.
Rebecca Gales.
Gales.
The name is familiar, like a fond memory. Reunion? No way. I recall a kind lady, a private tutor, who treated me like her own daughter when I was young. Is there that much of an age disparity, or is Becca the daughter of that person? She'd even bring me food when there was no need to do so. Usually stovies, which I honestly hadn't been too keen about, though I ate them nonetheless because she brought them for me.
Oh, the professor! And your little Becky!
Okay, there we go.
My parents couldn't make it since they're in Scotland right now. And Mom says hi, by the way. But yeah, that's me. Little Becky. We met once before.
Yes, oh, I remember you! You were the cutest little thing with glasses!
Really? Does she wear contacts now then?
And when we met, you were having boy troubles with this lad called something with an A.
I wonder if it was Ash.
What was it again? Aaron, Alan, Adele, Albert, Alexander, Andrew?
Keep going. Wait a minute. No, I was wondering if this was actually alphabetical order, because that would be uncanny, but no, Alan breaks it. But otherwise it is. The more I list off names, the more red and the more quiet Becky gets. She starts to look a bit miserable as her body language shows discomfort and stiffness. Perhaps I have triggered a horrid childhood memory, or a current one. Surely I hadn't been mean when she visited with her mother. I don't quite remember all of it.
Ashton! Ash! That man is that boy! The same one. Oh, goodness me, after all these years! I can see why, though. He's quite dashing.
You don't really need to announce it to everyone within earshot, you know? Keep it down.
I'm so sorry, but it really is cute.
And a tad bit sad.
This is a nice party, Miss Wright.
Please, Hannah is fine. We're friends of a sort, aren't we? We must be friends, seeing as I know about your little infatuation, Becky. Don't you worry, dearie. You'll have your happy ending yet.
I wonder if that's possible. Or possible to miss, based on how this game goes. Like choices made or something?
I'm not too concerned about that, am I? That's not what I'm looking for.
Oh? And what makes you think that? Doesn't everybody want their happy ending?
The idea of happy endings sounds like they're just for fairy tales. And they are, sorta. I don't think you can just sit around, trapped in some tower and hope for the best.
That's basically what we're doing.
If you love them, you have to fight for it, right? You're not just going to sit there and hope that everything will just fix itself on its own. Like everything, you have to work at it. But what do I know?
There's a grimace, although she starts to relax around my presence. How long has it been since we met as children? Certainly a long time. She was tiny back then, if I recall correctly.
I'm sure the daughter of the 2 greatest professors I've ever known is smart enough to know what she's talking about. But have you told him how you feel? And it's been what? 20 years?
Jeez.
17, actually. But no, not yet. He can be a bit dense.
I mean, if 17 years doesn't do it, then maybe freaking tell him.
I was hoping that maybe he'd notice on his own and...
Most people would lose patience after months. 17 years? Freaking tell him.
Well, that won't do. What if you two become husband and wife? He's not to be dense when he's sworn himself to another person. Why, you might just as well consider leaving before the day's even begun.
If that happens, I'll have to give him a good ear bashing, won't I? Whoever anyone ends up with, it's not going to be a perfect relationship anyway. There's going to be things you'll love and things you'll hate about the other person. We're just humans. It's funny. Here I am, trying to give you advice when you did the very same thing back then. I remember you giving me a makeover when we were still kids, and you were the first I told anyone about my crush.
I do remember now that she mentions it. Did I give her that yellow summer dress, or the pink blouse and petticoat? She must have kept some of what I said in mind. It feels ridiculous remembering all that years later, talking about boys and how they go crazy for pretty girls, as if it's some gospel every woman should adhere to. It was so easy to say such things then, with me not knowing any better. Though, looking at her now, she must have kept some of what I said in mind. Perhaps I did say something good at that time, enough for her to take it to heart? But all that didn't matter in the moment, as I mull over what she's just said in my head. Yeah, Rose had suggested couples therapy and distancing. Becky said, do something, which could possibly coincide with Marianne's advice, but not necessarily. What Becky told me is very different from what Marianne told me. There is no time to ponder over that, however, as a hush descends upon the once lively crowd. The music of strings and the chatter slows to a grinding halt as the doors from the foyer open. The last of the latecomers should have arrived moments ago, and anyone else this late would simply be too embarrassed to show their face. So this can only be one person, or rather, one man. There is only one man who is audacious enough to arrive at his own party so late.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Enjoying the party? I hope I'm not too late in welcoming you all to the right mansion.
Unlike I, who was raised in the spotlight and simply grew used to its presence, he sought it out every chance he could, even when there was no spotlight that shone. And I'll never put it against him when he smiles like that. He did so quite brilliantly under the scrutiny when he channels his showmanship. Does brilliantly, but alright. You could tell by the way people's eyes light up as he speaks, how they listen enraptured, even if all he's doing is a simple greeting. A little wave of his hands here, a little smile there, and a bit of swagger. I always tell him that if he is not to be a businessman, he'll do well as an entertainer. I love this side of him, especially when he looks at me and he beckons me over to humbly share his place. Not a single second is wasted as I excuse myself from Becky's side and I make my way to Luke's.
Welcome one and all to our humble abode. Tonight, if you have yet to find yourself in your roles, you are our ladies and lords of the court of your king and queen. If you would excuse my presumptuousness.
Oh!
So, enjoy the feast that has been laid out for your senses as we only allowed the best to be served. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone!
There is a round of applause, cheers, and even some hoots. Guests approach us left and right to shake Luke's hand and greet him personally, praises on their lips. It is because of this that I do not see her. You do not? I do not see her, until she is dangerously close with fury in her eyes and she's already spitting venom. Well, it's not the ghost. Who could it be? Who would be that mad? Oh, it's a new person. Johannes restrains her, taking care not to unnecessarily harm the pregnant woman. Oh. But that does little to deter her rage, and the man has no choice but to let her go, lest an unborn child is hurt. Although it might be too late for that, as I see an empty glass of wine in her hands. Oof. How much is she imbibed in? Strange.
Are you feeling ill, Rochelle? Perhaps you need to sit down and...
No! Shut it, you munter! I ain't talking to you! I'm talking to this scumbag over here!
Luke is being thrown off. Look at his face.
You bloody bastard, standing there with your smarmy smile!
So far, I'm with you. She interrupts me, jabbing her finger in my direction before she rounds on Luke. Oh, I thought it was about Luke. Even as whispers and murmurs break out among the guests, all I can focus on is the heat of the moment. Obviously intoxicated, judging by the smell of alcohol on her breath, I'm not ticked off about this little display of hers. At least not yet. but I am absolutely pissed by the fact that she'd endanger her own baby by drinking. There is a considerable amount of restraint and grace that I must exercise while I wait for her tantrum to subside. You know, I didn't realize "I'm pissed" was an expression in... I don't know what country this is. Is it England? Because we've definitely got like an Irish person, a Scottish person, but even so, I didn't realize that "I'm pissed" meaning angry was a British thing. I thought that it was exclusively "I'm drunk," like that's what "I'm pissed" meant, so that kind of threw me a little bit. I keep a patient if tight smile on my face. Luke's expression, on the other hand, is indecipherable.
Watch your tongue. You're on thin ice, Rochelle.
I've had it up to here.
Where's your husband? Who even invited you?
I did.
Oh.
And I told you with great emphasis not to. Now we have a drunk, hormonal, pregnant woman causing a stir.
Yeah. Again, it's just like Lee. He's right, but man, tact.
What is even going on?
I am just about to ask that exact same thing.
I don't know. But Rochelle, do calm down before you hurt yourself. I can't understand a word you're saying.
Where is that husband of yours?
Drinking, actually.
Lee! Collect your wife right now!
I've mentioned this before, but like... Well, I mean, douchebag thing to say, but that delivery, right now, something about it. Just the way he just kind of like flows with the word is just fun to me.
Don't you fucking talk like I'm not here and you're not responsible, you ass!
Oh?
You told me that I should wait for you in the gardens!
Oh.
Excuse me. What is this nonsense you're going on about?
And Lee did mention she was gonna hang out in the gardens. Oh my. I guess good news and bad news, right? Good news, it'll be way easier to break off this marriage, hopefully.
Crazy talk. That's all it is. Just completely and utterly mad.
She's clearly hysterical.
Has anyone seen the chief inspector?
I am pregnant with your little bastard.
Really?
You promised me you'll take responsibility.
Oh, that is all kinds of a twist.
God damn it, Luke. I finally got you to talk to me after months of silence, and you do this to me.
Oh, this is a bomb. This party is over. What?
What do you mean you're pregnant with? Luke, is this true?
Lies and slander, woman! Security! Johans, take her out of here before she makes an even bigger fool of herself!
No, you do not do this to me. I was so ready to leave my stupid oaf of a husband. I told you to leave that damn wife of yours. Look at her. Does she look like she wants a baby?
She does, though. But if this breaks Luke off, that'll leave Lee wide open, and that is no good.
Does she look like she could take care of a baby?
No comment on that one, I guess. It is now that Johans returns with security, along with a concerned-looking Officer Lee. Oh my god. They surround her and move to escort the hysterical woman. They actually say hysterical. Judging by his pale face, he has heard the whole thing, and I feel nothing but pity for the man. Yeah, Lee seems like kind of an ass, but man, ooh, that's a lot.
I'm so sorry for her behavior. She's been under a lot of stress. And the alcohol.
Probably true.
Talking nonsense, that's all it is.
Probably false.
You're not allowed to drink because of the baby, Shelley. What are you thinking?
Definitely true.
Nothing to see here, people. Move along.
Is there really nothing here but the ramblings of a drunk? No, because drunk people aren't, like, crazy. They don't just say random stuff. Like, if anything, I would imagine that alcohol allows them to express their thoughts unfiltered. It's probably, like, particularly effective to listen to a drunk person if they're, like, passionate about something. Yes, that's right. There's no way that what Rochelle says is the truth. What she says doesn't match up. I know Luke. If such a scandalous meeting were to be arranged, he wouldn't do it in such an exposed place, especially not near his precious flowers. There might be something to that, but still, I'm not really buying it. And he definitely won't promise responsibility over a child unless it can be helped. That I can believe. Probably empty words. Besides, Luke will never... He will never go so far as to sleep with another woman, right? I wouldn't know, but it's looking like that's what happened. Okay, fine, who am I kidding? If I am to be completely honest with myself, he might cheat. With a bit of temptation and a bit of alcohol, he just might. And doesn't that just make my blood boil? To even think of the slightest possibility of infidelity. Lee isn't too far off when he told me how Luke still acted like some young hotshot bachelor. It starts to make me think. Oh, okay, so we're choosing the advice. Work for my happy ending, though, like... You're not coming back from this. And, like, what are you gonna do? Like, either have Rochelle have Luke's kid and they just deal with it, or we have Rochelle's kid, because the kid's from both families now. I don't know how the hell you get a happy ending from here, and it really does look like Luke wants to just have the least responsibility for work of any kind, but take in all the praise. And it seems like this relationship's gone south for a while. Honestly, I think breaking it off is needed, but let's just say a break. I mean, Becky's not wrong, but this relationship, I can't read the future, but I would say this is beyond repair. Maybe Marianne had a point. Okay, I was wondering if Becca would go down. That wouldn't really make sense, because she can't hear us. Luke down? Yeah, no kidding, but that's what I want. If I am frustrated, if I am unhappy, maybe a break is needed. I mean, I hope this doesn't devolve into, like, it doesn't work, we just thought wrong. Like, I hope you can exercise both options. Sometime apart might be just what the doctor ordered. Not that Luke listens to the damn doctor, apparently. Time apart to clear our heads and to think for ourselves. Or for myself, to be exact. Yes. Because looking at this mess before me just brings me nothing but distress. I feel a bit nauseous, actually, now that I think about it. Luke's too busy making a scene to notice. Except he apparently noticed enough to to drop a relationship, and a concerned Becky pulls me to the side. She looks as disturbed as I am by the sudden turn of events. Probably not a big fan of drama. Definitely not used to it, at any rate. Not surprising, as her parents were lovely yet simple people.
Hey, I figured you could use the save. You looked like you weren't doing too hot back there. Do we need to call a doctor or something?
Oh no, I'll just be needing some fresh air, that's all. Some help getting out of here would be much appreciated.
Sure, that won't be a problem. I wanted to get away from this drama too anyway. Just... Hey, Zachary! Hey, Zach!
At the mention of his name, I can't help but seek him out in the crowd as he makes his way over. It takes me about half a second because he's a head taller than everybody else. They know each other.
Becca, this is a real oh, hey, Miss Wright.
If I am to assign a random number to dictate the odds of having two of my acquaintances know each other, I'll say the odds are 1 out of 1,000. And if this is any other situation, I would have been suspicious. It isn't completely impossible to have two random strangers who I've met on separate occasions to know each other, in what will be complete random happenstance. It's just that it's been faked before, to try and dupe me because of who I am and who I am married to. But right now, coincidence or not, I am just grateful for the help. As long as this doesn't turn out into a kidnapping anyway. Nah, we're good.
Hello, Zachary. I told you to call me Hannah. Did I not?
Yeah, you did. So this is what you called me for. We gonna get Hannah out of here?
I could see that they're friends. Not terribly close ones, but friends nonetheless.
That'd be great.
They make quick work of getting us through the crowd. Zach just carries each of us in one arm, or like one arm each, it's fine. The people part because of Zachary's broad build, even if they want to approach me. If that isn't enough, Becky's pointed glares keep them at bay. Yeah, she's got that strict teacher look. We even make it out of the ballroom without any untoward incident. And by the time it's nighttime, we get down the stairs? Wow, what a big house! Though judging by the commotion in the other room, the same cannot be said about the unexpected eviction. I really do need the fresh air. I need to be away from those nosy Parkers. I need to be away from Luke. This is a good start as any.
Hey, I gotta go back in there. Completely forgot my bag like an airhead, and I'll see if I can tag Ash on the way out. You'll be fine here, right, Hannah?
Not to worry, dearie. I'll just be right here.
I'll just be right here alone with Zach while Luke is in the house. It'll be fine.
Zach will be with you if you need anything.
Becky balks with a U? I know British spelling has U in, like, color and things like that, but I've never seen balks. I guess it does kind of sound that way. Becky balks at the idea of going back into the ballroom. Anyone who hasn't yet would have realized I am gone by now. And those busybodies will be gossiping about how I left the building with 2 unknowns. Really? I thought they'd be gossiping about the very obvious scandal that played out in front of them. Along with what just transpired, stories both inaccurate and made up will be spread by the night's end. Probably. It all matters very little in the grand scheme of things, of course. I won't even bother to try and quell them by returning to the fray. That leaves me with...
Zachary?
Yeah, you need something?
I was only going to say how nice it is to see you again.
Oh, okay.
That's amazing. Oh. Okay. I can see the tension in the line of his shoulders. Odd how awkward he is when this isn't our first meeting. Well, yeah, come on, but you know what your... well, not first meeting, but second meeting was like. The first was awkward for a different reason. We had met on professional terms, certainly, but I like to think I was friendly. Well, that's the problem. You were too friendly. Nonetheless, I do not push the issue about the apparent discomfort when we were left alone. Not right away, at any rate. I know my curiosity will get the better of me soon. Before I can say anything, however, he speaks up.
You okay there, Hana? I mean, of course you're not okay after what happened in there. I mean, that was terrible, but you're not gonna just fall down and faint or anything, right?
I'm fine. Thank you for your concern.
A beat.
I should be asking you the same thing. I remember you being a lot more eloquent.
Oh yeah, I'm just not too good with staying too long in a crowded room. Or handling intense drama, you know? Sorry about my clothes. Didn't think there'd be a dress code. Not that I have anything that nice to wear to a shindig like this.
That is a word I haven't heard in a long time.
I dig nice, small, simple parties, so this is a real doozy for me.
And do you host your own nice, small, and simple parties often?
Only when there's occasion, birthdays and stuff. Those are a lot more fun for me, and I can be a lot more selective about letting only the people I'm cool with attend, right?
Man, he is really lining up with Hannah on this one.
I get to pick the food, too. Of course, I make most of them myself. There's usually a dozen people or less, and all we really do is just hang out. Maybe do some grilling, karaoke, dancing, you know, the usual.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. You sure you're alright? You aren't exactly being eloquent yourself, as you put it. You must have something you want to get off your chest.
I don't know, Zachary. What am I supposed to say?
You can scream merde if you want. I won't snitch.
You want to know what I think? How I feel? I think my friend may have slept with my husband. At least, I'm pretty sure she isn't pregnant with his baby, which isn't much now, is it?
I'm pretty sure she isn't pregnant with his baby? Yeah, that may or may not be accurate, I guess. But,
My husband is a selfish, pretentious, bloody sack of shite, and you know what? I don't give a flying fuck anymore! My God!
Well, that ain't good. Not giving a crap won't make the problem go away.
I'm going to ask him for a break, Zachary.
No, you are going to tell him that there will be a break.
I'm not going to pretend that there isn't a problem, but I just need to step back.
Fair enough. As long as you don't just up and disappear on him, I suppose.
Yes. Now can we please stop talking about him? Tell me more about your small, simple parties. Karaoke and dancing. How does that even go together?
I would assume not at the same time, but I guess people could dance to someone's karaoke. Why not? It's a song.
Simple, really. We hope Ash doesn't take the mic, put on a bit of fun music, and just dance.
You know what's kind of funny is, like, he doesn't know that she knows who Ash is, so this coincidentally went okay. But in any other situation, Hannah'd be like, what, Ash?
Not that I can, but there ain't nothing complex about it.
You can't be that bad.
I'm pretty good with the twist. Or, that's what they tell me, at least. I think they're just being nice. I'm sure it just looks awkward.
Prove it. At least you can cook. Oh, man. Because at least you can cook is the bit of the negative. Yeah, you can't dance, probably. But prove it is going to be like, we're gonna set up a situation right here. And I am very afraid of where that's going to go. I am going to save. I'll say prove it, but I'm probably going to fall back on at least you can cook.
I've learned that men tend to exaggerate. You can't honestly be that bad, can you?
It's a plus, but like...
What? Do you need a demonstration?
That would be preferable, yes.
It's not like there's music here, Hana. Come on. I could barely dance with music, and I don't want to be dancing alone. I'll just look silly.
Imagine, mon ami. You are an artiste, are you not? With your photos and films and your guitar.
If Luke walks in, I'm reloading.
You must know notes to play an instrument. Find a melody and a beat. Would it be such a stretch of the imagination? And don't fret, I will gladly be your partner.
I have my finger on the reload button. It's coming. I could tell by his expression that he's flushed, embarrassed. But no more protests escape him, and he focuses with a slight tilt of his head. Then he starts to hum a little tune. I drag him into the gardens, really, while we go through the motions, and he gains courage the farther we are from other people. Okay. And we just dance. Though he stumbles at first, unsure and bashful.
Where did you even learn to dance, Zach? The 60s want their moves back, honestly.
College of two left feet, obviously. And I'll have you know the twist is still an awesome dance.
We're happy and we're having fun. Even if Zachary fumbles with the steps into the funniest, oddest movements that anyone could pass off as dancing. There is no need to impress anyone, however, not even each other. And this is the most I've smiled and laughed in a long time. It is simple. Simple is nice. Oh my god, we made it through the day! I wish the same could be said about what I'm about to do. Ooh, we do not need that right now. We do not. So for now, it is time to stop the installment. Well, we certainly made a lot of progress today, didn't we? We actually saw the spooky ghost again. I don't know what it is with these ghosts and giving us a little bit of a scare. Oh, I'll take you out later, haha, but until then, check it out, pretty spooky, huh? And that wasn't even the scariest part about this installment. That scandal, oof. Things are going to get ugly. But at least we had a nice, pleasant time with Zachary before we get to that point, because things got ugly before, and they are almost certainly going to get ugly again. You know, it occurs to me, the last time we had a really good time with Zach was with Isabella, and we had an abrupt ending to her story. I don't think we're going to get to that point with Hannah, but I just hope Zach isn't the accidental, coincidental kiss of death here. Stay away from Zach, you'll have the best time of your life before you friggin' die. But seriously, we're going to be talking to Luke, and I do not like where this is going. Until next time, everyone.